Before I got married, I knew that there was a traffic nearby, and I was going to be the head priest of the high gate. Naturally, there is tolerance for the two. After marriage, I will not answer the economic order. The reputation of the former will not become frequent. That really I don't know if there is no brain. Actually spread the news that I had nothing to do with the karma. He wanted to suck me up once and make me a little talker, but he didn't think of it. My mother-in-law who will force this move, and then quietly think about my door in the middle of the night. I am the second daughter of the Guogong mansion, nearby Dingguogong, and famous after the life and death of the Changchang. After the rest of the account returned, the two of them decided to marry me and the young man. I know that after the new service family Nyang went west. Tanti's question, what if I don't like me too much? Nyang asked and laughed out loud. Silly child, try the good door legato. The breath likes is the least important. What matters is your whole room as the head of the house. I grew up day by day under my mother's teachings, and the main line a month before the wedding. Fuzhang Momo went out to buy when the seeker had an oral consultation. This was originally a matter between subordinates. There is no need to report to me. But the person who can make trouble is Yu Wishuan. It is the main delivery of hen eggs raised in witches. Because there is this relationship, I had to come forward. It is not accurate to say that it is a junction. I haven't gotten started on this layer yet. Evil clothes dare not cut openly. But he always made friends with Chu Yunxing, my future mother-in-law. Because this incident has also come to my door, he promised in San that he would send out the hen eggs before marriage. Taken down by my mother's wolf. Since it is cloud-shaped, it likes. Then say in fully and take good care of it. I am going to get married. Let's serve him as a mother again. That's what mother means. That's what I mean. 2. Chuyun is a girl who really has a psychology. If you force him away at this time, it will only make him hateful. He and I are always going to be husband and wife. I don't ask for anything to throw a box. At the very least, it should be as close as soldiers. He's a stranger to my guest. If it is because of a matter of thought about the face. 2. I face therapists. It also has the ability to serve me in the future. Before Peng Mu leaves in the future. In 3. My mother assures, before my wedding with Chuyun, they will restrain the courage of the heroes. Won't let him spoil. This pretends to be the marriage of several people in both families. When I arrived at the Mingyu room, Han Dan is doing too much to drink tea. My family's name Mo Shu is even the whole thing. The sick women around Reflection and Zan are much more miserable. The flashes are all scattered. The feet of original sin are blooded. On the way here, they've already told me. In the past, a certain Malay woman Yufang greedily bought a bad quality powder for me. Han eggs are much stronger. A certain Mo naturally did not let the two townships quarrel. Han Dan's sick girl misunderstood. If you say that you are guilty, I am the fourth daughter of the Guogong mansion. It's still an empty price that can't live as a couple. After that, if you really join the monkey house, I have to live a lonely house every day. A certain Mo is my male mother, but I'm like a daughter. Watching me is as precious as the performance. I bought it from him. It was also he who watched me look like a little bit of a modern age. How could he endure others to make me like this? Went up and became like a sick girl with Handan. Girl. So-and-so has red eyes. Kai is the head next to me. This kind of mixed knowledge. How could you have come by herself? Don't you know who he is? Don't send the girl back yet. Han Dan sneered. What identity? The enemy of the national worker. You can take care of the angry people. The fire of so-and-so vine. A certain blue wait so-and-so. The girl said. How do I take care of the angry people? Then I'll be here for my family, Momo. And I'll be with you until I owe. These looks and heads. Don't be the girl I gave to accompany you. The Great Sutra of Momo. Monyang. This is the face of your wedding. Daughter. A hint of unknowability flashed in Handan's eyes. 40% I regret it. He was shot at high 0. 9 tops in one word. Don't regret it. I laugh once people. No regrets. He left with something according to Jiao Chiang. After he left, Mominal remained. It's all the old slave's fault. It's an old slave, miss. If this affects the girl's marriage, the old slave man was rescued. I smiled at the won't Momo. This marriage is not my family's. We're not the ones to be afraid of. Momo and I just got back to the house. Except for Yunxing's mother, who came with him. Juan's hundreds of neat formal han eggs. The flowing gold head noodles that I took from me. My mother and I met in the light. He does not move a hidden investigation of life and death. In addition to Yunxing's mother's forehead, there is a thin meaning. This is the earth she of the bright moon Fang Shuzi. It's a little bit of my heart for additions makeup. Handan is Yunxing's cousin, the brain of his parents' deaths. Only this one daughter was left. We too are mapped. In addition to the words of the mother, who are allowed to go to the facility. Bo Mu second miss. There are rules in the family for 7 seasons. I'm actually the second miss middle school. Won't let the cousin cross the second miss. Mother took the ground. Chu Yinxing and his mother both breathed a sigh of relief. I think it must be outside the wind and rain. Let them all face on the way here. Both of us are families with heads and faces. I will follow the eldest daughter of the wasteland, but it's also the first time to be a woman, something that has been used by others. How well he took his family. Chu Yinxing arrived immediately. I am going to make a new face for the second lady. It must be more valuable than the current Huali. His mother smiled and blessed him. Talked to them until late, before sending people people away. After they are gone, the mother will be famous for the earthly atmosphere of the moon. Leave it into my hands for today's business. You did very well. I read the prison for my mother. Mother is well-handed. Since 3 months ago, Handan began to think of ways to explain the law. Then I went out. I want to get my wise man to quit. And Chu Yunqing divorced. And I've been in the dark. It is not until today that the return is done for the subscription. This is because of the day my father and Chu Yunqing's father will all return to Beijing. This marriage was facilitated by Chu Yunqing's father. If there is even the slightest mistake, the old grandfather's shop will not spare hen eggs. Indeed, the scene. Hen eggs do not die. It's hard to end. It is a Chu Yunqing before the door will be opened today. Ming Yufang is the most practical force of admiralty. Tens of thousands of taels a year. They can take it out. It's also a new blood, and I know it to the earth. Handan weighed in his heart. In the weight of the crowd, also China, one official position. After that, you're going to be in charge of the monkey tiger family. Meng Guang is not on your costume drama. If he doesn't die soon, you don't die. You are the old lady of the whole monkey tiger. Everybody will come to you. The whole monkey tiger is yours and your son's. I understood what my mother meant. The most important thing is now. On the third day of my wedding with the main bank, I began to follow the mother of the country to accept the middle leader in a suit. Chu Yunqing will come to my side every day to use Wushan on the night of the wedding. We are the original house. Handan knocked over the main stage with his hands. May you start a fire, and you cry and come to Han Chu Yunqing. He didn't have time to solve the problem, and the king of this day ran away. Overnight, the next day, after the mother-in-law found out, for Thunder Court, the Handan will be banned from this hall. Handan did not eat or drink in his own hall. Chu Yunqing begged his mother to be free of fire. They found me again today. You're my whole man, my wife, the surname of the Handan child. I know you have suffered many grievances for him. When I was young, he saved me a name. Auntie, I can't leave him alone. I am making the soup in this bowl with my feet. Laugh for a day. I am married to you. After that, we will do it for a lifetime. Your business is my business. I am going to ask my mother-in-law for you. She's for my sake. We'll let her out. After the hen egg comes out, was intellectualized by Chu Yunqing Xuan. She reluctantly came to my room to thank me. I am playing with the abacus. Fang looked at the ledger. The head is not a stage. Don't shy away from talking about it. You just have to settle in the yard and break up. She was scared of her son. The atmosphere is detached. On the second day, when Dewey travelled down to the court, he returned. I am talking to my mother-in-law, and a number of people, who are avoiding you in the clothes. It's about to cross the east. The next people also want to shout in the east of the conscience. Handan used to be Miss Wan's family. The Hu mansion is busy. Love can't be busy even if it's alone. It's better to let Handan help the duck by the side. She spends hard and hard. The mother-in-law played with chopsticks. Are you crazy? In line with the power of the media. Mother, Handan is your own child. My mother-in-law was just a little angry. Wei Yang almost set the Zhao family on fire. A discrimination that hasn't started yet. It is also worn in the mother to help the liner. I'll spare her life. It's already for your sake. You laughed so much that you had supportively a few births in the line record. I spoke wolf down. My husband actually thought of Handan Bang and called me. It just so happens that the service is now preparing to give the next person the east of the platform. I made an appointment with my mother. Tomorrow is going to go 4 seconds to change the game of Xing's ups and downs. It's time to take a long shot. This is just handed over to Handan. Except for Xing, he did go back. You can think of it that way. It's the amount of energy that should be done when you do it. Yes, I'm an official husband of a few cars. The husband is the foundation of the family. The public is no longer at it all year round. The mother-in-law is alone in thick clothes. Raise you to grow up. You should also brighten up the tabletop. The mother-in-law felt tired. Others are willing to work. Oji, you don't have to be wronged for me. I know that I have never given birth to this Sun-Peng mother when Chu Yunqing was in a very bad mood. Handan came more and more people and asked him to vote for the anger of Chu Yan's action. Hurry up and get out when it's just the two of us. He lowered his head and gave me a single life for Qin Han. He became the one who saved me and wrote some accounts and the same words. I'm here to deal with the past. I know, husband, and the next morning, I'll add car to reply. Handan's push before the boiling is actually enough again in the past half a month. I will master the obedience and accept the negative person back. I just need to pray and obey it. Don't have to say anything about these things anymore. Then I wish you all the best of luck. Hey, the mother of the big family. Where is it so easy to manage? If she read it for the first time, she would have made a mistake. After that, except for Yunjing, there was no longer anyone who could seek for her. The mother-in-law will only increase her even more because of her lack of ability. She will never be able to manage this matter again. To bring people to destruction. After all, it was she who beat herself. This is hand dug by my mother Leia. Handan will be beaten by my mother to despair. Xu Yinyang, who doesn't dare to be in the limelight anymore. Previously at home, I'm just scared of my mother's situation. Now left the mother. This is the first time in my evil house. Han egg since the whole grown. Peng Jia fell ill and ascended to the courtyard and closed his door. In recent years, the concubine Yang Yang, who had been off the road in recent years, brought down the yellow child. His Majesty named him a concubine, except for Yan Xing as Dr. Li. Recently, I have been crossing to check the things in the car seal. This is the status of Huang Zi, who was born after His Majesty's registration. His Majesty Dragon's Eye Bow pay special attention to the matter of car sealing and leaving. In addition to allowing the practice of passing the mold to win a heart, the maintenance of the unified adjustment is light-hearted, and the hot road is hidden. He has been home few days lately, busy and directly carried Libosi. It's all about trying to estimate the long-term end of the whole guy. Handan immediately sees the opportunity to clear an episode. Search the things that make sense of the material in the back of your mind. Gargle out of the room at the end of the weekend. The new emperor is kind and good. The flag is good and melts into the hearts of the people of the kitchen since ancient times. It's a good place for people to get old oil and water. The inspection window is missing. When I accepted the fire rot barrier, compare the obstacles of the national work with. The obstacle of the fire rotting kitchen is not bad. It is even better than the national construction with. This shows that there is a good steward here. It can balance the degree between the organization and the subordinates. The money to ensure public prices will not be heavy. Make sure that the people under you can always get married. It will not affect his position as a steward. Not to mention the master's meal that will not be affected by the subordinates' private hands and feet. The first thing Handan did when he came to power. Don't have too much right to stay out of the house at the end of the weekend. Let the sick girl around him come to warm up. I asked people to find out. This station checked the bureau between Handan and the end of the weekend. Before I drove the camel suit. Handan once had deep luck. The same eye has not yet been introduced. How can there be a reason for luck to avoid Handan and to fall from power? Are all in the shape of the wolf's down. In the shape of the harm he turned his eyes and feet. It was even full of eggs from the outside that didn't come back to protect the hen eggs. Hen eggs have a period of luck. In addition to allowing him to do the most of his diplomacy. Ben Cheng crossed the head and he rose up lawlessly. False and expensive. Especially this year's output is low. It is more than half of the shrinkage point. The amount of offerings made by Hufuli every day is fixed. There are too few Handan agreements. The child who is too big to be in middle school. The blue fever around him is out of the son's envelope. It is said that it is the time to go to the house to take the void. I saw that there were 2 more bowls next to it. A bowl is for the rich people. The other bowl is for Xiang Jian. Handan Wenyang immediately revealed his brain. The ring man. A through-party press. How to use such a good thing as a precept. Xiang Yue is the one I set aside my mother to arrange for the general prescription of the doctrine. Raw trade is as beautiful as a flower, but Thailand is warm and cut. I couldn't get past Handan. Since the doctrine type and Handan have been in place, he hasn't seen the face of the doctrine before. Handan naturally can't tune the incense moon. He is also very fragrant, and the moon is a few years younger than himself. Reminds me of the previous ISM type focus on Xiang Yue. How to be in the back of the heart. Let himself always make trouble by making a vow. Behold, at the end of the weekend, I didn't let go. He refused to give him the advice he had given to the encounter. Instead, he was restrained on the occasion, said that he didn't have the appearance of Miss Guan's family. For a little food and drink. This is the tense. Handan has been in a shape since it was lucky. Take a lesson like that. This reminded him of just arriving at the Hu mansion. Since the days of the Order Zhu dynasty, he got his hands on it at the end of the weekend. But after all, he's a woman who deals with each other. At the end of the weekend, in front of the mother-in-law, who had done this to get back on her feet. Naturally, I don't look at opinions. Soon, he was subdued. So let's sell it at the end of the weekend. At the end of the weekend, he sneered. I'm the son of a family with a person. Fury's first-class mother-in-law. Suran is your mother. And she didn't betray me about her skills. What's more, you don't even have a mother's name now. It's not even a connecting room. The middle mill pressed him to my mill. Xiang Yue orthodox talk about a few. After grinding in, grinding out, one after the other. Remember to take few incense and talk about in your hand. It smashed on the head of the Handan. Cursed, white-eyed wolf. The ground under the hen egg sat on the ground, the same as the feet. I was put back on the stage. In addition to the prototype, was also called back. A grinding dog's blood spirit head. Xiang Yue's bowl of bloody ice came out of the front of his private room. Since he entered the east, he has become ill and not small. It hasn't been good. Xiang Yue is nourished by human blood. Shishin took care of him for half a month. His body was fine. That's why there is this bowl of bloody eyes. Who knew that Handan was so ignorant? Except for Yunjing. When I went to Handan again, the rare ones didn't always tolerate him. Instead, when he said that he wanted to send Xiang Yue out, it was very suitable for him. I was surprised twice in a row. As a result, Handan still failed to keep the child. It hasn't been charged for a month. It was a miscarriage. He didn't dare to talk to his mother-in-law. I dare not be willing to do it. He could only live with the pain of losing his child. Turns into hatred. Kato grinds ink in the encounter nucleus. Now wants a German family. Naturally, he has to have a lot of money. There is a fate. I will be rich in letters to me. The land was given to the mother. Mother finished reading. Pure compilation evokes the benefits of the Qing dynasty. Such a good century. I don't want to think about it in Ashikaga 4. Pull the dragon heart. On the contrary, it is still in the place where the grandson is broken. It's so cute. He did the whole thing for me. There was a softness in his eyes. Your sister is in the palace. Now it is for his majesty again. There is already a too noble lady in the family. There can't be a second one. Your father has made a holy account. Our family is now a group of friends. Others look at it as the first to spend a few. In fact, such as brigade soldiers. Every step of the line is carried out cleanly. You and the Chu family's marriage. It's me to your father now. I can get you the best marriage. The back is not prominent, nor is it too low as our family. It will not be suspicious of the currency. Your dad is going to thank you for coming back this time. The Chu family's military camp and pole belt have bought people. Mother said this. The voice was cold. If one day it comes to decide your sister's son with your son, these are the 2 most expensive sons in Kyoto. I went for a while. I understood my mother's words. If there is a trick for a day, His Majesty was not satisfied. My father volunteered to hand over Bingcheng. Or think about our family clearly. Then my son is also the enemy of the Chu family. Take advantage of the time to rebel. and use my enemy's sister's son for the land. Help me get rid of my heart. The Chu family is so married. The deepest interests. It lies in the status of the Chu family's 5 descendants. Mother. Still understood. This time, have him help you. Just in time, coming out from behind the mother. Because of the woman who killed with a face. This is your grandmother from thousands of miles away. A good assistant set by you. The only one who has been tested at me is the only one. The little master still uses poison. The worm man is still lost. I couldn't help but laugh out loud. Mother, this is really a good assistant for me. I visited and jumped out of Langyang. Almost as far as the eye can see, the white of the steppe. The experienced Hu Shou could no longer resist the implication of his face. The day of corruption is about to change again. The combination of lumbar inflammation of that week. It's already a good start. It's time to take a break. After cleaning up the middle Momo, Han Dan faced the next hand. He casually pulled out a sad and stealing reason. Tell to sell the incense moon hair Xiang Yue cast on top. He was rescued by someone set by Palmu. But please circle the person advanced system. I don't know who asked for it. At this time, the warp is fully moved. Han Dan was taken away along with Xiang Yue. After hearing about the repetition of the Lord who was busy with the rebs, I almost bleed. I didn't even have time to change my official uniform, and they rushed over. Han Dan took out the evidence of Xiang Yue's stealing sentence at the factory. The Meridian did not speak. The Lord himself is far away, and he is green. No word stands up to scrutiny. The signs lead the potential people around you. Took them to the backyard to the cousin of Tuyun Road, who learned that he had a reputation when he brought them back to the state. If the Duchess is sick, the large and small affairs within the recovery are all managed by me. He is well known for his good family, and he is a little exaggerated, and he gives an explanation. So he went back to his brother. He asked for a stepchild to teach him, and he didn't know what it was. Let my wife also go and do something with the table to give the border will be together on the face. It can be regarded as a heart. The road is cloudy. The night is like a pure one, and I can't say anything. My mother and I declared to my father that we were going to Simiao to regain skin brother who brought the board pass. They were not informed which one we went to for 4 seconds. Kyoto outside 4 seconds thousands. The famous stock difference is not less than 100. Except for Yanxing, he doesn't care about me. Naturally, they don't care about my formation. I'm a stupid man. Was asked why I was speechless. I don't let him go. Cousin. My cousin is in the rules. She's also a good woman sought by all people. He was the second daughter of the Guogong mansion. The price to you is under the fate. Do they have a better option? The reason why he chose to give it to you. It's just because I like you. You don't like him. He should also be given formal dignity. You make an imposing butler. And there is such a thing. It's going to be a lot bigger right away. Do you want to be guessed by those old drums in the force? In addition to Yan Xingtai's face, there are some arguments. How could she like me to probe the air? 4 years ago, she met Shan Sui in the picture of going up the mountain. You got out of the carriage. Except for the fine punishment. It's her cousin. You treat me well. She's a gentle Liangshan woman. If she dies to you, her heart is gone. Former female schooler of the country's industry. Who would dare to marry you as a prisoner? This sentence is soft and hard surveillance. Except for permission, there is no unwillingness. I know. Except after the permission to walk. If you want to come back, you'll open the joint project first. Towards me I understand. How's my dad's? I waited for him loyally. Get up. Xu Yinxing represents Han Dan and Neats. Fake car reply. To go back to the monkey house, you have to pass through the most non-slip Shenwu street. Often with men driving good parties. It's just such a small guy. The news of Han Dan's forced killing of Tongfang came out. A watchman asked outside the carriage. Little monkey master, you remember from the front. It's the daughter of our country's industry. What is the bottom of the national industry on the front line? How can you be so laissez-faire with a petty gas butler? As soon as the voice comes out, there are more other kinds of complaints. Han Dan was forced to fall into his arms and wept tie-tie. Cousin, this must be his trajectory in line to shake off his hand. Drinking and eating. Eminem prayed for his father's blessing in the 4 temples. How could such a thing be done? If it weren't for the fact that you weren't firm, how can there be experienced this or? Han Dan hasn't had time to be vulgar yet. The carriage argued to the Hu mansion. The reward of the 3 Sichuan ships is in the line. Is it Xiao Hu Yang? Who are you in the line of goods? We are the prizer of the 3 major remedies. Upper house. The way that Mrs. Ijia taught us. He said that he wanted to make things for the middle class and lower level people. There are also some of the subordinates whose dimensions have not been delivered. We came and pushed a few times. The people in Fuzhong said that the lady was not there. Now it's a little lady in charge. The size was not given to us either. Now Han Feng is the 4th daughter. There are too many things for adults to perceive. We can't keep ourselves busy. Today, I came to postpone the scripture to the Hu mansion. This side of the argument belongs to the line. Mouth has no chance. After all, it was the Hu mansion that was the time. They rented it to the Hu mansion for a month. Immediately called into the east. It's too late. It belongs to the line and received the fixed scriptures. After waiting for someone to leave, he looked at Han Dan with a cold face. Good things you do. He shook the door in. The apparent flank is semiconductor. The little private of the concierge, barefoot dressed in single. There were high wounds in all the corners. He was furious. What's going on? Han Dan was speechless. Xiang Yue blows violently. He was this summer. I just bought the little silk. It's an aunt. Welfare was only given to him in summer and autumn clothes. Dongwei hasn't made it yet. A whole month for a whole month. What are you doing? Except for Yanxing. The first time, he was under the great court. Angry at Han Dan. Han Dan's tears were in his eyes. Husband, I'm just right at this point. I came back in a carriage. Madam is back. I dismounted under a certain merchant. In addition to the smell of the road on the road. When you see me, some of them are yellow. Compare the hair that Han Dan met with the mess. At this point, I'm in a lot of trouble. A mountain of law is what he likes. Husband, are you okay? I pray for Jew. Walking into him, I squeezed his hand. Why are you so young? Let's get in. Sister wrote to me. Say it's you to measure the wind and rain. Busy before and after. Opportunity foot does not stick to the emperor. Even sleeping is a gift silk. As soon as I heard that, I immediately came back. So the time for Ziv has not yet come, but I think they'll understand me. After all, husband, you are also very important to me. Chu Yun's eyes were red. The encounter was cold to him. Han Dan commanded him to cause trouble. Tomu also scolded him for not being able to control the back edge. Even the surname on the side of the road had to scold him for being angry again. No one cared about him this month. Eat well or not, eat well or not. I am grinding and grinding. Tell the middle mill to give the soup to the two near it. He asked me, why the two? I called the lamp outside his eyes. You're stupid for such a cold day. You're going to work in the afternoon. It is not dead with reason. Put it on top of him means you can drink it when you're tired. The offering is so big. The supply is always insufficient. Even if you drink hot soup, you can get Korea. Dealing with the line is overhead. I want to be a little casual performer. This one is gentle. Madam attentive. I laughed. You are my husband. Naturally, I want to be careful for you. Chewing Ching went online for less than a while at noon. Don't be called back to immortality again. Before he left, when I saw it, I apologized seriously. The mesh weaving is my preference for the gall. He's an imposing. The door is not high. How can you be the first to do the accounts of a big family? He is in charge of the house. Such a humiliating thing came out of plain whiteness. I didn't do it right. Sometime, in the service, you have the final say. Don't have to go back to me. Mother trusts you too. You are my lady named Masa. No one dares not to pay more attention to you. When Zhao came to collect the account books in the courtyard of Handan, Handan red power eyes ran to find the main business. I saw that the main camp line did not see him. He turned out and scolded me for being a red girl. The main line fell off the teacup. Hot tea scorched bottom. Pain and white matter. Cyber day. Is this how he has come into you? I am going to throw myself into his gentle little one. Momo was wronged. Nothing. He was cold. Bring the little lady in. The long mouth is solid. When you hit the second hit, Handan began to cry. Cousin, have you forgotten? I brought you back. You beat me for him. I forgot about the dedication of the main business. The melting of man. But if he keeps mentioning it, that's a smear. No one can put up with this benefactor all the time. Handan was foaming at himself. The first thing before and after getting the butler back, I paid for Ju's position. You have the ability. It's just that being a kitchen steward is a drive. After that, you will share more advantages for me. Ju Mumu old lady Zongheng. I listened to madams. A scene in Handan. Let him keep warm and cold in the monkey mansion. Peng's mother was ill and couldn't administer justice for him. He pleaded with no door. It's better to scream than to die. Smallpox, please, no one. What I'm going to do is send a Sith in the snow. This month's weekend drove Zuyi to tell him the sky has changed. He has only another new master. In order to live like a person, he's a man who doesn't know what to do. I'll know how to be a good knife in my hand. It's just me. He's good. I gave him the shadow of the back. Lianya asked him to record the size of the person. Do 3 sets of East 1. Today's eastern weather is exceptionally cold. Another set of money. From my price photos. This side is the body. When people have your goodness, they will remember your kindness. With Handan to make a comparison for me. Manage a few millimeters over and over. It couldn't be easier. Just 2 months. And my fame spread. A certain private person in a costume always has to go out to buy it every day. Talk to other people's private and female friends. It's all unconscious. 1 and 2 songs. I don't think the reputation of the club will be able to change. Who knows that the hatred is faint and the grudge is in the heart. I didn't have the same thing as the main business. Deliberately let people say it. He wants me to be a face planner, shameless, and famous. I don't think it's going to be a daily soup for the main business. And the hatred faded into the family, and spent a lot of money to go out. Let the message become more and more intense. People outside are laughing at me right now. On the 7th day, the main camp couldn't help but go home. It's not a matter for the message. It's for them. He was a little embarrassed to talk to me. Is auntie a bad person? I'm busy. No. The recent soup is a bit too disgusting. I faced the school set when I didn't bounce a sentence. I know about the annexes. I'll tell the kitchenette when I get back. Momo couldn't help but be born. Good eyes. The soup in recent days has been cooked by our wife herself. You look at a good pair of hands, and you are running away. I hurriedly put my hand back. Drink and eat until grinding. What are you talking nonsense? The cause took my hand. Chest heaving. Brainily, you're not an adult yet. Look at your hands. What's going on? I had red glasses. Sorry for the annex. I can't even do this little thing. She's clear. None of us spoke again. She asked her subordinates to send it high. Personally wipe it for me. Don't be stupid in the future. When you do something, you have to say it. You know, I'm a child. Tune her head. I made enough of the appearance of a little daughter. There was tenderness in her eyes. Can't help but serve the hair. Someone from outside said the mother-in-law invited her over. After she left, I don't like her where she was touched. I deliberately let the rumors from outside reach my mother-in-law's ears. She has the most face. I can't afford this person. After coming out of my mother-in-law's yard, Heavy Run went to the courtyard of Handan. I drank him in the pool and brushed a lot of things. When he came out, he had a few more scratches on his face. For the first time, he closed the Handan into the pen. Without his words, Handan can no longer be discharged from the hospital. In fact, Handan did many wrong things in the past. He knew it all, But he loved him back then. Change the president. There will no longer be people on the side who are wrong. But now, why did they start coming together again? Prototypes. Do you like me a little? That night, how much more am I who is prepared for me to be the son? Wait for the arrival of the prototype. Sure enough, he handed over my square door. Go to the farm. He actually cried. Cool cavity overnight out saying sorry. You are a noble lady. Marry me to me as my GAO pan. It's me. It's that I'm bad before. Subjected you to a lot of cold belts and fish repellent. I will only be good to you in the future. Just like you're as good as you are to me. I kissed him. He had to get his mouth shut. If he wants to be good to me, just let me go back to the baby. And then he died early, so that my child can progress to the position. That's the best thing for me. The only thing that works is that it works. It was only that night that I had a baby. After having luck, I saw Shan Yun. I now have deep luck. If it is a hen egg with a weight, what I do just doesn't make a difference. But what about you? Since weightlifting now, there are not many deep over there, you can't help but prove that having a purple color is always good, even if it's a daughter. He lifted his beautiful glasses. The cold light of the water lost the heat of his glasses. He looked at me. I see. Madam Chu Yunxing recently came back early. I bring a lot of stuff back to me every day. He likes to look forward to listening to the knots on my belly. I asked him with a smile. Now that I have deep luck, I can't serve you. Why don't you want to go far away? He was a little unhappy that other people's ladies were trying to find a way. Leave your husband in the room. Why do you have to be me leaving? I'm laughing. I don't want to be belly. He coaxed and let the lady of the finger get it. It's better than him to send it away. This is a good lady. I really couldn't help but laugh now. Did he lose his brain? You think that's good? Oh, yes, that's why his wife loves him. Then I'll send Hans away. This is the first time I have mentioned Handan to him so bluntly. I forgot his glasses. Prepare to find the hesitation and rest I want to find inside. He looked at me happily. I am going to send Handan back to my hometown in Yinsheng. He didn't come into your check. That can't be my case. He gave me my last name. I am willing to give him a lot of dowry. Let him marry a lover. In my eyes, marriage is not beneficial. As for the habitual confusion at the corners of the lower mouth, he's got a lot of luck for you. Which of the other men felt the drug him? There were miscellaneous children in the early hours of the morning. You can send him over to Yang Lao. If he does not want to marry, raise him over there for the rest of his life. As long as he doesn't show up in front of you and me. I was right. Yes. It's good to be speechless. He took my hand. The eyes are bright and small. I am going to send Kazuki with me. After that, there are only you and me in the suit. Auntie, it's enough for me to have you. A lot of things on the internet day. I'm sorry for you. I won't give it to you for a year after the net. Where he can't see. I got up and had no head. He's probably really bad in the head. He really doesn't understand sweat either. How could he just leave? I've thought about the many ways to sweat. The Luke didn't expect it to be like this. I produce real days because it's a twin. Dystocia. In addition to the official duties of pushing drugs, accompany me outside the grass production. My name is Mrs. Tiley. He pushed the sick woman outside the grass door and ran in. The crying pen and the tears are together. It's not a wave. He lived financially in my hands. The previous period does not follow the next period. It doesn't hurt if you look at me. He lied. I hurt and wanted to laugh. Really, I don't like him again. How can it not hurt to look at him? I forced my eyes to silently kick in my heart. I must be safe. I'm still waiting for a good day when my official hair is too vulgar. My sister's Huang Zi is already the crown prince. The elder brother became a princess again. The princess also has deep luck. Father put ice on the ice. Only the suspicion was hung in the ice department. Every day at home and with my mother to blow off the pimin. The family is safe. I don't want to die either. Mrs. Wen suddenly called. Bao is big or small. Hu Yi, my mother-in-law, has always been fine in this matter. Bao Xiao, Mrs. Wang, you must keep my grandson safe. I clung to my back. Tears fell from my eyes. I believe that a trip to rotten meat is like 100 steps to recognize people. Bao Da, except for the account of the allowed, mother-in-law Jiang withdrew. Draw out the sword that hangs on the strong, away from the neck of the midwife-to-be. There's something wrong with my wife. I am going to let your whole family die. I want this minister to fall unconsciously. He obviously just did what he did with the army, but I don't seem to be so tired of serving him anymore. This pretending marriage history was originally a joint cause. All I want is to see each other, as if we were sick. Mother and child are safe. Mother and child are safe. Mrs. Wang's son is a big student. Master Hu, come and see Xiao Shizi and little miss. Except that Yanxing crossed him. Come to me, walk and wipe my hands for me. Tears are on the purity of my dryness. Not to give birth, never give birth again. Auntie, I'm so scared. I breathed a sigh of relief and prepared to speak. Suddenly, Handan lost the same pot in his hand. Pull out a handful of nose hands from the show and look at me. I opened my mouth with a golden hole. In addition to Yanxing, he hugged the child. He could only block it with his back. His nose and hands pierced his heart glands. There are prison horns everywhere. He turned around and grabbed the hand egg. Grabbed and stepped out of the strong piece. Against his head, an electric limelight. He's going out there. Come and touch my face. It's okay, Auntie, I said to Kong Meng. Bloody stomach paving. You believe in sick couples. Why did you die? The 7th year after Chu Yixing's death, publicly said for my son Qin Feng's extinction. He was the youngest of the line. There is no numerical threat to his extinction. Far from this time, he had a good idea. He likes to bring all the kids with me. Cook for your child. He came to the 2 bowls in my room. Ask if it's not happy. Haven't touched me either. He asked me, is it very difficult to have a child with a negative child? I told him it was tough. He said that he would bring the best physician for you in the future. I said that your sister is the imperial concubine. The best physician will naturally carry it. He said again, then he's going to be with you. He was so well written in his heart. He was right. It looks like I'm showing off my tiger head for my child. But I know you're a. I added it to my fingers. The virtual lord came out, but I didn't feel the pain. Oh, yes. I used to do that. But he died. Die for me. But I began to gradually forget about the bad things. Instead, he had some good to come. When I ate fat stuff, he will pick it up with his hands in the next life. When I was transporting the map, he pushed off his official duties to soften my back. The technique is not good. He also went on a special attack to alert him. Someone else called him. The handover is not as good as righteousness. He cursed angrily. After scolding, he bought me a lot of things. She's a nice person. In the end, the old man will also be kind to the next person. Just before, it's not me that she likes. But what about me now? Why can't I cry? Defenseless. I will take good care of our children for her. After a few of my little planters became yellow ground, my son also trapped the people in the military mile. She can't take care of her. Everyone said she was a teenage hero. My daughter is out of the ordinary. Past the year in general, I played the role of my mother for half a year. Silly boy. It's a good family. The couple's liking is the least important. What matters is your whole life as the head of the house. She was coquettish in my arms. I chose one for him to jump on. He likes his good boys. A few more years passed, and since the date has been taken, it didn't take long for me to become an old lady in a red suit. Everybody came to me. I'm at home, Henry Lunson. Played the night card with a kind of sister. I haven't thought about it for years. I live a long way every day. But that night we went to frolic. I was very calm and counted with him. How sensible and obedient our 2 children were. He sat at my feet and listened attentively to me all night. Then it was dawn. He patted the picture on his buttocks. Actually, Lee, I'm doing our 30 years of merit below to come up to you and read it. Look, you're doing well. I was content. I'm a little cold. Then you go and reincarnate. He didn't play around. Faces as about. Auntie baby, I can wait for you to be reincarnated together. In the next life, we will be husband and wife again. I said with disgust. Don't want to eat, I want. I don't like you again. Stay in place. He smiled. I know, auntie. Then I'll go first.